Hey everybody, it's TF. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing another action figure review. This is going to be of the Aniplex Plus Fullmetal Alchemist BUZZmod 1/12 scale Edward Elric. If you're not familiar with what's going on here, Aniplex, they produce a lot of anime, some of which you may know like Demon Slayer and Fullmetal Alchemist here. They also produce some of their own collectibles under Aniplex Plus, so they have a lot of statues. They have other BUZZmod figures from Demon Slayer so far, and the only other BUZZmod series that they're working on when it comes to different anime is Fullmetal with Edward Elric here, and I'm really hoping that they at least make Alphonse. I would like to see them make a bunch of other characters in the BUZZmod line here, like Roy Mustang and whatnot, but Alphonse is definitely a need if we're going to get Edward here. So let's just go ahead and talk about the packaging. I can't wait to talk about this figure. Front half here, or top half really, you get the figure in the box with a bunch of the contents you see there. Top left to right, you get Aniplex Plus, the Fullmetal Alchemist logo, as well as BUZZmod 1/12 scale Edward Elric. Bottom half here, it says 1/12 scale collectible figure. From Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood Edward Elric, it's 1/12 scale. You get an image of the figure right there with some of the nice black and red going on for the different details in the design of the box. On this side here, you get to see the Fullmetal Alchemist logo as well as the BUZZmod logo. On the top half here, you get some nice, like, I guess that's their type of logo that they want to do with BUZZmod, the little, jagged lines and whatnot. It's going to be the same basically on this side here, but those jagged lines are going to be towards the bottom there. You get a red streak right there. So this is what the top of the packaging looks like. Again, you have those jagged lines and the details of BUZZmod 1/12 scale figure, Edward Elric and whatnot. Bottom half, pretty much the same thing, just different placements of the wording and logos and whatnot. Now we get to the back of the packaging, giving you a wide look here. Lots of stuff going on here. So the top half, again, top left there, does say BUZZmod 1/12 scale figure from Fullmetal. And you get some nice images of some of the different display options that you can do with Edward here. Bottom half, a lot of stuff that I don't understand, unfortunately. But you mostly get some warnings and whatnot. Choking hazards, ages 15 and up. Aniplex Plus logo down at the bottom left. And a barcode in case you need it on the bottom right. Let's go ahead and get this figure out of the packaging. So here's the figure out of the packaging, and overall it's a pretty good figure, but I'm just not super duper in love with it. It's mostly because for the price you're paying for it, I feel like you can't really do that much with it, at least compared to what he does in the show. I'm not expecting 900 accessories or whatever, but a few more alternate pieces and whatnot would have made this a little bit more worthwhile. I will talk more in depth about my gripes in a little bit. Let's go ahead and take a look at the accessories, then we'll take a close look at the figure. We have a pretty good instruction booklet here, which it has the figure on the front as well as it says Aniplex and 1/12 BUZZmod, Fullmetal Edward right there. And I like the image on the front. This is a pretty cool one. There's actually a lot that it talks about in depth, as well as it gives you a little look at some of the inner workings going on here. Shows you how to use all the different accessories. I would definitely keep this and read up on it, and also you can see everything that he comes with on the back there. First and foremost, I want to talk about the automail arm. This is really nicely done. There's not much variation in paint, but there is definitely paint. You can see that light shimmering in the gray, the metallic gray right there. And there's a little bit of I want to say a black wash going on the tearing right there on the red of his sleeve, as you can see. So that's pretty cool. And this piece here is actually really nicely sculpted. Some nice holes going on there, like these nice lines, as you can see. And this is a very simple system. You can actually pop the hand off, slip this off here, which it fits on there rather nicely. Even like this right now, actually, you shake it and it won't fall off. I mean, you put a little bit of force on there and it will eventually pop off. Pop the hand back on there, which later in the review, you'll get to see this when I do the images. You'll see this arm on the body. You get to see a little bit of a better look at the automail arm, which looks really good with some nice rivets, screws, lots of nice mechanical workings. This the color right here for the joint does look a little bit different from the rest of it, but it doesn't. That's not that big of a complaint. This piece is also a bit separate, so you can see it move up and down and whatnot. Very nice. We do have an angry, screaming face here for Edward. He gets really pissed when you call him little. It's really funny almost every time. They did a good job with this head sculpt, or this face sculpt mostly. A little bit of hair sculpted in there too and painted, as you can see. Look at the mouth. I feel like the white of the teeth gets into the mouth a little bit. You really gotta look at it close in order to tell, though. So I think that should be... I'm fine with it. I do wish we got another face. We get 3 faces, including the stern one he comes with. We have this one here where he's just smirking, looking to the side. I do wish we got a gritting, more of an angrier face. When he's fighting. That would have been nice. Very similar approach to the other face I just showed off with that yellow right there for the hair. And that's what the inside looks like. So you can see how all these grooves are going to fit onto the head there. I did forget to mention we had a flat hand for the automail hand there. As you can see the knuckles on there. Oh, that looks really nice. Let's get over to the different pairs of hands with both gloves. Well, this is more of a posed hand as if he's doing transmutation or alchemy or whatnot. And looking really nice. A little bit of lines going on at the palms there just because, these are gloves. I don't really see any stitching in there, but that's fine. Yeah, which I don't really expect them to. You don't really see that in the show. So, nice lines going on there, though, to give it, look like it's actually a pair of gloves and not just a solid white sculpt for the hands. Now we get to these hands. These are flat hands when he's clapping his hands together. The inside there, you see the hands. So it's a little bright. Hopefully you can see that. Some wrinkles going on the palms there, as well as in the fingers and whatnot. Last but not least, these look more like relaxed hands. With I feel like some of the sculpting there looks a little weird when the fingers have a little bit of a separated gap. It's very not a big complaint. I just wanted to point that out. Then you can see some more lines, as if they're stitched lines around the thumbs and whatnot. These are cool. We do have 2 translucent blue pieces. They're actually a bit of a harder plastic than I thought they would be. And these are transmutation effects that you could probably put around the arms or other parts of the body and whatnot. Very nice. Transmutated wall, which actually has some really good paint variation. You can see a little bit of this metallic blue, kind of like a silver, going into the brown there. Looking really cool. The inside, there's not much detail, of course. You're just going to mostly be paying attention to the outside there. So looking rather nice. Last but not least, we do get this actually really nice modular stand. If that's even a word I should be using. Modular. But it's a base here. You can... I feel like I've seen this before with other... I don't own any other BUZZmod figures. For some reason, this is really hard to pop off right now. But the idea is this piece here comes off, and there's some other grooves and whatnot around the whole base that you can put around. And then this right here, I'm not sure what this says. I just put this on here. It's mostly a black mold here and sculpt. You can see this translucent piece covering right there. I don't know if... Can you take this off? Yeah, you can. I'm learning that just now. You can take this piece off here with the translucent part if you wanted to, but because my thing is stuck on here right now, I can't really show that off properly. But this thing does hinge and swivel. Lots of nice hinging and whatnot. Clamping here. You can even rotate it here. There's some grooves that keep the base head, pretty much. You could do a lot with this. It may not be super duper efficient compared to other stands, but it's pretty nice. We do have a lot of assortment here. I just wish we had a little bit more. Mostly, I wish he came with gripping hands and maybe a, like a spear or something that he made from transmutation, or just the gripping hands so I can use my own accessories for it. But we don't really get any other options. You can really only use this arm here as the weapon, so it just kind of limits the figure to what he can do, because he does a lot in the show. So an extra pair of hands for gripping, and I would just provide my own weapons, honestly, would have been fine. Alright, so here's Edward Elric in all his plastic glory. I don't know what's going on with the lighting today. It's either too dark or too bright. Face sculpt is decent. It definitely looks like Edward. I like the little, piece with the hair going on there. That if you look deep into the hair, you can see some variations of, a lighter and a darker yellow going on in there. The paint on the hair is really nice. Although there is this weird clumping of the mold. Something's going on with the mold in the plastic here. Either that or that's some kind of, defect on the sculpt there. I'm not entirely sure. I did not do that. So try to take my word for it, please. But yeah, like the printing on the face is actually really good. I don't think I have any complaints with this face exactly. Now we get to this chest here. It looks nice. This piece, if you think it's going to hinder articulation because this piece is closed off here the way it's sculpted, it actually won't, which I'll get into it a little bit later. Actually, I feel like most of the hindering in the torso is because of this piece here. We do have a nice little symbol, whatnot. I forget exactly what this was supposed to be, so don't hate me. But it's printed on there and painted very nice. It's just this black paint going on there. They made it look really good even with the wrinkles sculpted in there. And there's a little bit of black variations of, like, just a little bit of shading going on in some of the creases. Not much on the inside, a little bit. I think there's also a little bit of it in the arms. It's just very subtle, so you can't tell too much. But the red is molded and painted pretty well. Nice wrinkles in the chest again here. You flip this up a little bit without ruining it. You could see his shirt underneath, which has some wrinkles too. So that's one thing I kind of wish we got, was alternate arms. Now we get one with the, the auto mail, but alternate arms for what's going on underneath here with this vest, or bare arms for when he has, he could maybe pop the head off. I actually have not been able to do that yet. Pop the head off and maybe have some bare, like, exposed arms for when he's got this shirt. So that's just, very almost like a tank top. I don't know. Am I being a little too greedy for asking a little bit more accessories for a $115 figure? Maybe. But let's talk about the fists. These look good. I think they're fists. They're kind of hard to mess up unless they're, proportionally, inaccurate. But they are accurate when it comes to proportions, and we do have some lines going on. A little bit of wrinkles in the sculpting, whatnot. Nice clenched fists. One thing I do want to mention, it's not really a complaint, but it's something I wish they did differently. I don't believe we have, I was looking in the packaging, don't think it comes with extra pegs in case any of the hand pegs breaks like we would get with, maybe Good Smile with their Figma stuff. But so far, after interchanging some of the hands, it doesn't feel too worrisome or too brittle on these joints. So far that's fine. Got the little pocket watch, I believe, right there, sculpted on. And there's a little bit of a chain on the pants with some nice paint on the front of the belt there. The sculpting is really good with the belt as well. And you can see on the back too, not what's going on there, but that's mostly part of the design. There's some wrinkles around the pants here, and it's mostly just painted in this gray, as you can see. I forgot to mention the white, and the paint in the white right there. Let me say that again. The white painted on here, looking pretty good. Even the neck. Part of me thinks that the skin tone doesn't match it. It doesn't match with the face, but in person it's fine. You're not going to be able to tell on camera, definitely. Getting down to the pants again. Nice wrinkles, some nice seam lines there. The way that they did the joint is pretty nice because it almost looks like the joint is hidden just a little bit. You can definitely tell cut there, but still looks good. Now we bend it, and of course you'll be able to see there's some smooth in the joint there, but it's not a big deal to me. We got these boots, and they look good. A little separate piece going on here. Nice. I don't know what this would be that's wrapped around the boot, but all that's looking good with some nice wrinkles going on. And the bottom of the feet have some good treading. So overall, the sculpt is there. The wrinkles and whatnot and other details that make this, Edward, this figure with his outfit, it's there. So I can't really complain about the overall sculpting. Again, I think I'm just being a little too greedy and asking for just a little bit more accessories. But there's not much else. This is kind of stuck in a pose where it looks like it's flying around a little bit like it's in the wind. That's not too big of a deal. I think you can make it work if it's standing to where it just does look a little bit rested. From certain angles, of course, it won't. From the front, not too bad, though. I had to pause and figure out the lighting situation, but I think I got it a little bit better. Anyway, let's talk about articulation here. Now, the way that the head works, it's kind of weird. It's not like there's really a hinge. It's more actually just straight up a ball joint. So it will rotate fine. We do have a hinge here at the hair, which can go back, as you could see. But there's also articulation in the body at the neck. So it goes forward. So you get all this range of motion here, as you can see. And it can also swivel, and it tilts. Pretty good amount of articulation in the head, at least. Now we get to the arm. It's kind of weird. There's not actually a joint, like a hinge here. Mostly relying on ball joints and some open sculpting. Here, let me pop it off and show you. That here is what's going to get you that, that hinge going up and down. Just trying to put that back on there. It'll snap in place. You can see this is a soft plastic piece here at the upper arm. It goes out that much, which is not super duper great, but not horrible. Arms go all the way around. Maybe a little bit of a butterfly joint. Not entirely sure, but we do have an upper arm swivel here. So that's good. We do have a double jointed elbow. And we do have swivels at the hinge and wrist and whatnot. I didn't even say that right, but we see this a lot with a bunch of different imports figures, as well as McFarlane toys. Now we have just a swivel here at the waist, so there's not actually an ab crunch, but there is rotation forward, back, side to side. This belt's actually a separate piece and whatnot. Pretty good articulation there. That's something you should notice. This did not break, but the legs will pop in and out fairly easily. That's as far out as it goes. You can see sculpting right there for the joint. And that will also pop out. It's a little annoying. That's how far it goes forward. Actually, it doesn't go back too bad. Upper thigh swivel. Single joint knee, which does bend pretty good. We do have actually an ankle rocker with up and down. Yeah, I think that's about it with the articulation. There's no toe articulation. So, pretty good amount of articulation. Could maybe use a little bit better movement in the arms. They don't want to go out too much, but the rest of the articulation I think is solid. By the way, putting this arm on the body, it actually seems like the articulation going in and out is even worse, so just keep that in mind. So for quick size comparisons, as you can see here with some other imports lines, like on the left we have the 2.0 version of Saber from Fate Stay Night from Good Smiles Figma line, and on the right we have SH Figuarts Jujutsu Kaisen Yuji Itadori. Maybe Yuji could work with Edward, but I think Edward compared to these are going to be a little bit, he's going to be too tall because they aren't, the other two here aren't actually in 1/12 scale. They're just in their own scale, like 6-inch, a little less than 6-inch scale, of course. Now, if you take some other stuff like Black Series, that's the Clone Wars Anakin Skywalker from Target on the left, and the Retro Collection and Marvel Legends Spider-Man there, you can see that Edward fits a little bit better in scale. So overall, it does sound like I don't like this figure with my complaints that I had, and also, honestly, some of my complaints sound like me being kind of greedy, wanting more stuff. But, I mean, I still like it. I just feel like I paid way too much, and it should come with a little bit more. The figure itself, with the paint, sculpting, and articulation, I think is really awesome. And the accessories that we do have are cool. Again, just a little bit more would have been nice. So that way maybe we could take off the arms, take off the coat, and have some different arms for different posing and whatnot, and maybe just some other weapons, or again gripping hands, so I could just provide my own weapons for him to hold. But what you see is what you get with this figure, and this thing goes for a pretty penny. Like some retailers would be going upwards to like 120 to 140 bucks. Now what I did, which is what I recommend, is sign up for Crunchyroll Store. Normally there's, the streaming service that you can pay for, but it's free to make an account with the store. I made one when I was ordering this figure, and I believe with my first purchase, it was like 10 to 15% off my first purchase. So I used that, and this figure is over 100 bucks there. So then you're getting free shipping as well as the discount on it. So I paid 105 to 110 bucks. Still a lot, but that's what I recommend doing. There's other retailers you can go to. I will leave links down in the description below. Overall, there might be some better alternatives to articulated Fullmetal Alchemist figures, but this might be one of the better quality ones in recent years, and I do hope that they keep continuing with the line. At least make Alphonse. You can't make Edward here without Alphonse. Come on. That's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Comment down below what you think about the figure, what you think about the review. Leave a like, share amongst your friends. Follow me on Instagram for more content over there, and I'll see you guys later.